Pretty interesting card. We'll start with college football. Everybody's talking about the game, Indy
That's
in
right.
Ireland. It's
Oh
the
my
featured
goodness.
game. Might not be the best game or the closest game, but it's it's Navy and Notre Dame, and these two teams are no stranger to this scenario. I mean, they've met in this game twice before, so it's not like uh, going to be taken by surprise or anything. I mean, new kids or whatever, but the teams know how to go. They know how to pack. They know how to travel. And anyways, 20-point spread. Notre Dame. Uh, Still, it's Navy. Maybe they've had a little bit of change. Yeah, they've had some change to their program. No doubt about it. We're not used to seeing a different coach with Navy right now, but just feels like I don't want to give it away. I want you to take over.
Well, I mean, we talked about things that have changed for Navy, but what about some of the stuff that hasn't changed, right? Like, so for me, when I don't have any numbers, I kind of take a look at personnel, I kind of take a look at talent, I kind of take a look at coaching. We have some of those unknowns, but Navy brings back this offensive line. And I think that's really important for a team, for their chemistry, for sure. So I'm going to take a stab here at Navy plus 20.5 today. They're probably one of the best run stopping teams in the nation there as well. I think they might give Notre Dame a little bit of trouble, perhaps running the ball, maybe running down the clock. That's kind of how I see this, right? Might be a lot of the ball on the ground here still today, depending on how Navy, goes moving forward. Is it going to be a little bit different? Are they going to go towards, passing here a little bit? I know Navy, they try to pull an upset on Notre Dame every once in a while. I think they might be a tough matchup here early on. I think Notre Dame still gets this win, but I think Navy can stay within the points
Yeah,
here.
they almost pulled off the upset last year. 35-32. The yardage was 363 to 335. And Navy's covered the spread 3 out of the last 5 meetings. 20 and a half is going to be plenty for me. Look, I mean, Hartman should probably go in. Maybe Hartman will be what you'd expect from Hartman. Maybe Notre Dame. Sure, Notre Dame. They're going to be probably passing all over them. No, there's still going to be Notre Dame. If anything, Hartman, it's great to go to Notre Dame, especially if you were him and ended up there. It feels like you're still limited a little bit. I mean, they're the coordinator they left for Alabama, and they kept the tight ends coach. He's the new offensive coordinator, so I'm sure it'll be fine. Hartman will be good, but it just feels like you're inhibited when you're the Notre Dame quarterback running Notre. This. Come into the 2020s, Notre Dame. I'm not saying that they haven't been ultra proficient, but we don't know who's going to be the quarterback for Navy. I don't think, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be Navy, right? They're going to be an underdog. That's what we like them. We like Navy as an underdog. So,
all right, we got a consensus, right?
Man. Come on, Navy. I want Navy on the money line. Don't you guys want some
money line? Hey, why not?
Take Navy. Funny. Come on. Crushes on Navy. Jacoby's going to lay the 20, I think, here. Jose says lay the points with Spain in that FIBA game. It's about to start. And Jacoby heard me, or if Jose heard me, I have the over. So, hey, parlay it up, Jose and I. With a parlay it up for us, Jose. Spain and over. Hope I get my end of the bargain right. Right now, USA, they're up by 9 late in the first half here. I believe they're going to lead 45-36 at the half. All right, Verley, I think is saying take the points.
I think so.
So nobody's really commenting on this game, or is chat broke, or nobody's ready for college football. They want to see a game first. I mean, even Mindy's in action on the first game.
Right.
If you don't play the first game of the season, you're already wasting 8 or 9% of the season. Reflex it over. You look at that. I said, what was the score last year? 35-32. I think Notre Dame's going to be able to, they'll be ready for the triple option. They've had all camp to prepare. No, come on. Navy will have them spinning in circles. Please. Notre Dame crushes them, they might, but I don't care. I want Navy. And Josh, okay. Josh says he can stomach laying 20.5, and money line is 2. I might have missed that. I missed that.
Might want Notre Dame, perhaps. Maybe.
Okay. All right. Well, not a lot. I'd say the chat's maybe not enthused, or I don't know. Can't wait. And if you can't wait for a Navy game, right? Thomas says the Navy will be passing this year. Good.
Yeah, be more competitive that way.
Navy 51 starts back on that offensive line. I usually prefer more, but I don't think with Navy it's as big of a deal. I mean, you get into a rhythm. You're in first team, second team, third team. You're getting reps. So good luck to Coach Newberry. I'm sure it'll work out just fine. He'll probably be there 15 or 20 years. What are you going to do? As long as you don't, Okay. I want to right now, before we get to the game, I have it down on the list a little bit, but I just see a total on moving here, Mindy, on the Vanderbilt Hawaii game. If you guys are liking the under in that game, it's getting hit pretty hard. It's probably going to be going lower here in just a little bit. So, anyways, Benny, if I'm excited about a Navy game, you got to take Navy. I mean,
all right.
When am I ever excited about Notre Dame anymore? Okay. This next one, this should be, this is a closely weighted game. So UTEP will be on the road here going up against Jacksonville State. Mindy, if you didn't have any numbers on any of these other teams, I know you don't have any on Jacksonville State. They're making their debut. Now, we could go back a little bit. They've been, we can drum up some point spread information if we want, but it's a new era. You're in Division I now. Rich Rod is in there. If you don't, Tony kind of gave us a little preview in the Discord talking about Jacksonville State a little bit. If you saw it in there, I saw it. It was cool. And but here, UTEP is favored on the road here, -2.5, and the total is 54.
Okay, well, I think I will go with UTEP today. I think it's one of those that you have a senior starting quarterback, Hardison. He's been pretty good. I think he did well versus Oklahoma, Boise State, that sort of thing. And again, I feel like it's going to be tough for this Jacksonville State team to come in from the FCS, and then suddenly here you are playing with the big guys now. So I just think that it's going to be tough coming into the stronger level of football. And I will go ahead and take UTEP here today.
All right. Mindy says take the Miners here on the road. UTEP, pretty dramatic improvement over the last couple of seasons, considering they were one of the worst teams year in and year out. They didn't win any winning seasons.
Yeah, they're like a 5 wins a season kind of team.
Well, last year I think they were 5-7, 6-7, whatever they were. They were, but it's been a little bit better the last couple of years. They have really, pretty heavy returning veteran lineup. The quarterback's 29 starts, of offensive line returning 122 starts on that line. UTEP's been pretty good, on the road against the spread. Boy, but they've got to work on their turnover ratio. That is pretty bad. Rich Rod often is overrated, but here he's an underdog. So, it feels like, that UTEP should take care of business. It's just that Jacksonville State has been pretty decent as a 1AA team. They've 24-11 straight up over the last
The cats
three.
are fighting. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. A real live cat fight on TV, everybody. Okay, I can stretch this one out just a
One
little.
cat had another one cornered, like in the
Oh my
closet.
gosh.
Yeah.
Can we? Well, I don't know. Could we get a PETA violation if we showed that or something? Or
Probably.
get a cat meme out of it? All right. Well, I was trying to hem and haw anyways because I do like UTEP in the game. Jacksonville State, it does worry me a little bit. I mean, UTEP should come in here and maybe win this game, but Jacksonville State could surprise. I'm going to take the over, Mindy. I'm scared.
All right.
Scared to lay the points with UTEP on the road against. Look, Jacksonville State's a good program. They're going to fit in just fine in Division One, and they went out and got a decent hire here. Even though I always felt like Rich Rod was a little overrated, this is probably his level here at Jacksonville State. So, anybody too into this game? Let's see what the chat has to say. Blake likes UTEP. I like what Thomas has to say. Says take. That little birdie wasn't a gamecock, was it? UTEP for Burley, Jacksonville State for Crush. Hello, Angel. Hello.
What's going on?
Ron G, UTEP first quarter. Frankie Diamond, UTEP Jacksonville State for Jacoby, however. Okay. And that's it. Looks like from you guys. I hope you're right, man. Yeah, I'm sure UTEP will be fine in this spot. I'm not going to go against them necessarily. If I do, I'll probably just bet on them later. But let's watch out for this Jacksonville State program. And like Minnie said, UTEP, yeah, they're 500. I just thought they were a little improved over the last 2 years. Look, UTEP would like to be where like a team like San Antonio is, right? I mean, UTEP had a program good program for a while, but now you look at like San Antonio as the real kind of mid-major there out of those new Texas. Oh, UTEP's not new, we know that, but I mean, not the big majors. Okay. This might be our only preview of the year between.
You never know.
Massachusetts and New Mexico State. There's some, there's storylines here.
Sure.
Certainly, but there's been some movement too. It's been on UMass, which is kind of funny because UMass doesn't win, they don't cover, they don't do anything. They lose. They don't cover, they can't do anything right. But they're taking the money here. At least that's where the line movement's gone. And New Mexico State is a 7-point favorite. The total 45.
Yeah, I don't understand that move, Ramon, because New Mexico State brings back almost a full team from last season. I think they were building on their defense as they went here, playing at home now, nationally televised game. They beat UMass 3 years in a row now. And we know UMass, like you just said, they struggle to score. I don't know how much of a promising start here we're looking at for UMass. I'm definitely taking New Mexico State in this one.
All right, Mindy says take the Aggies. And hey, last 4 years, New Mexico State is a home favorite, 8-2 against the spread. And you're getting a discount here with them at maybe here at -7 points. New Mexico State, last 2 years against UMass, they've won. Because this is a regular meet, you got to find teams that you can beat. And for these two teams,
this is a team
doesn't matter if you're 2,500 miles away. We're going to play every year. Aggies won 44-27. They won 23-13. Mexico State, they're coming off a bowl. They never go. They've been bowling in a few years, and with Jerry Kill, remember Jerry Kill? He was pretty good as a home favorite with uh, the Gophers. So, yeah, I'm going with them for sure. At with this price, we're getting the price. UMass has experience, man. They got their offensive line just maybe as experienced as New Mexico State. 4 starters returned for the Aggies. So, Massachusetts on the road. Mindy, last 24 games on the road.
How'd it go?
0-24. All we got to do is beat them by a touchdown. I mean,
right.
0-24. Maybe today they'll come within 7 points.
Or maybe not.
Right. Okay. Hey, I know that's going to send a lot of people on the money line if they didn't know that already, but and it's a football game. You play money line here, -7. It's not unreasonable, but 0-24 for the Minutemen, their last 24 games on the road. They did win last year against Stony Brook.
Hey,
20-3, but
New York. There you go. Yeah.
Stony Brook is 1 AA. So no. Okay, we're on New Mexico State. Who else is on this one? I gotta tell you, I love the total here, didn't you? Love this card. All right, here come the play. New Mexico State. Thomas Lewis is on UMass.
Look out, Thomas.
Look out. He will not be denied. And if they Burley here. Frankie's on the under. Jacoby says New Mexico State. And yeah, that was probably about as good as they've looked in a long time, Thomas, actually, last year. All right, Mindy.
Okay, here we go.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm the I'm the San Diego State correspondent here.
Glad you're here.
And there's been a move in this game too, to Ohio for sure, especially now that it's under a field goal. So San Diego State here, -2.5, and the total 47.5.
Well, I think I'm going to take those points. I know Ohio had or I'm not going to take the points. I'm going to lay the points. I'm taking San Diego State. I totally blew my my first line there, but I think Ohio will be able to stay to stay around here a while. But I think it's going to be a pretty difficult matchup for them, especially because you're going across country here. You have to, basically shake off the rust. You have a quarterback coming off of an ACL injury. And I think the Aztecs actually found success later in the season. Maiden, right? He's under center, I believe, right? And I just kind of feel like, again, I think the Aztecs are going to be too physically tough here for this Ohio team today.
They should be, and you're getting the best price, especially now under a field goal. I have long-term concerns about San Diego State without a conference. I'm not going to put down the Mountain West. They'll probably salvage this whole situation. They'll figure it out. But while all the other teams are finding their way now, even some of these other teams that San Diego State was supposed to end up in a conference with are kind of getting away and finding their way. Maybe Stanford and Cal, maybe the door is still open to the ACC and what will happen. So until then, San Diego State has upped the recruiting slightly with their new stadium. Does feel like they might think they're a little better than they are. Maiden, remember, is a converted safety, but he actually could be underrated. I mean, he was turning in, a 300-yard game late last season, and he looks the part. I mean, other than the fact that he's left-handed and throws a knock, his size is interesting.
Yeah,
and he can throw darts, but he can be also wildly inaccurate. So I don't know. Maybe that's when you're not as refined. I mean, he was a quarterback who converted to safety because he didn't think he'd get to play quarterback. I'm talking about when you're coming up in college. You think I'm a quarterback, maybe you're not a quarterback, son, and then all of a sudden, when you're San Diego State, you have trouble getting,
You don't have a choice. Yeah.
quarterbacks, and they were in a bad situation. Hey, remember I played quarterback, and then all of a sudden you get your chance. And look, he is a starter, but they're not hesitant to, get him out of there. I mean, it's only been eight starts, I believe. So, but yeah, San Diego State, they're terrible as a home favorite. They're absolutely dreadful. They're 18-32 in their last 50 as a home, but they're only laying 2.5 here. Usually they're stuck being an overrated conference favorite or against, other mid-major teams at home. And so that is, and I think the move is also Rourke is getting a lot of momentum with Ohio as far as, and I think that he will be. I think Ohio will be popular with handicappers today, but I want to take San Diego State with you and lay these points. Or I don't know if you like the money line better. That's fine at $1.40, but it's under
Sure,
a
I'll take that money line. Why not?
So it's up to you on that, but we're up to you guys too. I mean, I like the money line, I like the spread, but I'm just,
Right.
a lot of times I'll put some on both on a situation like this. Here comes some plays. It's going to be Thomas Lewis on San Diego State. Crush likes the over. Oh boy, I don't know. I don't know if I don't. The under's hard to get behind now at 47.5. I think it was a little bit higher. Frankie's on Ohio. Ron says San Diego State. Jacoby says Aztecs and over. Law Dog says it feels like an under type game to me. It really does. And Burley says San Diego State. Ron, though, over. I think if anything, I could go over definitely. If anything, I'd say go over. Definitely riding with San Diego State. Sounds like two plays, right?
Yeah. Not so sure about the total, but he said if he had to take it, that's what he did.
Thomas Lewis says I think Ohio went bowling. Ohio has won and covered their last 4 bowl games. I mean, they're great, man. They are great. San Diego State is not great, but I mean, he said, they're probably deeper. They're probably bigger. It's funny. San Diego State, I mean, we make fun of this whole conference situation. I mean, they were building up to this. They've beefed up. They're getting bigger players. They're like, because they were on the verge of thinking not just this year, but I mean, they had been planning to try to get into
They started
a
off
big
so hot last
conference.
year.
And,
Yeah.
all that too. But we'll see. And Hoke probably overrated, but I'm a big fan of their offensive coordinator, former NFL quarterback Ryan Lindley.
Oh, that's right.
All right. Well, the Aztecs here, Mindy. I'm on them in this spot, and I expect not to be on them. Well, let's see. Prove me wrong. As I'm saying, I'm going with them, but and I just think the market has it wrong here. But when I say wrong, meaning the move to Ohio, I think San Diego State's the side. But I think San Diego State might end up being overrated a little bit, and I'll probably go against them. Okay. Vanderbilt is hosting Hawaii. It's not, I know that we feel terrible, and yeah, we do feel terrible what's going on in Hawaii. It's not a directly related. It is, though. I mean, anytime you're in another state, I mean, things trickle down. It's not the same, but nonetheless, Vanderbilt, big favorite here. Remember when I was all over Vanderbilt last year in Hawaii, Mindy? I gave it out like 6 months in advance.
Right.
Here, they won that game 63-10, and they're favored by 17.5 here.
Well, it's one of those things that I think that Hawaii might be able to hang with them perhaps here this season. There is some weakness, like in that Vandy, I think, secondary this season. But we know that both of these teams are probably going to put up points. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go over the total here. I think we're looking at a big high score once again. And again, if Vanderbilt wants to cover that 17.5, they're really going to have to put up the points here. I think it's going to be a pretty big pace of play here today. I'm going to take the over.
Yeah, I hope it's not 60. Well, I hope it is because we're going to go over. I don't care. I hope it's 73. But I hope it's 73. I hope it's not 63-10. I hope that Hawaii can compete. They have some veterans, especially on defense. They return almost the whole defense. So it's just, they're still just 14-21 straight up over the last 3 seasons. And they're not a great road underdog, Hawaii. Have they really turned around? I make fun of it because I kept saying I've got a game, 6 months and 3 months in advance. Probably I don't mean 6 months, but we rolled last year with that. So SEC against Mountain West, 67% against the spread over the last 5 years. So. We're gonna go over. We're gonna go over at 56.
I do.
For sure. I mean,
For
is
sure.
that Vanderbilt's team total? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Vanderbilt's team total is 35.5. I'm sure Hawaii will be better here. Hawaii 11-17 against the spread as a road underdog. The 3-7 against the spread non-conference games last 2 seasons. All right. San Jose State and USC. In this one, USC is a 31-point favorite, and the total is 66.
Well, I think I'm just going to go ahead here and take the Spartans. I don't know. I'm going to take the plus 31 here today. I just think that San Jose State, they had that top flight, passing attack. I know they had some letdowns last year, especially I think when it came time to play Utah and such. They rolled They went off to a 7-1 start, but then after that, kind of struggled a little bit. And I just kind of think that USC may have to just go ahead and put some some late game extra players in there. I think it might be one of those like a last minute backdoor cover. I'm going to take San Jose State plus 31 here.
I'm sorry if I missed putting up the plays. You guys all got your plays in there. I'm sorry about that. I got so excited with our play. I didn't put the plays up there for Hawaii and Vanderbilt. Thank you, each and every one of you, for putting your plays. Ron, good luck to you again. God. Feels like a third world country up there.
Right. Jeez. Infrastructure.
So,
what are we doing?
Thanks, you guys, on that. Anyways, for this game, Mindy, USC, come on. 4+ touchdowns. Tell them, Frankie. San Jose State. Law Dog says USC wins it big. We'll look at the plays, but I don't know, Mindy. San Jose State's a different program the last couple of years. Last 3 years, 19-13, straight up. This is a spot. I'm not a real believer. Okay, I get. Of course I'm a believer in USC and their quarterback, and I'm sure he can win the Heisman Trophy again, even though the guy who wins it is always third the next season. That's
right. Never fails.
He's great. San Jose State, they've got a quarterback who's been around for a while. I mean, he's got one of the most experienced quarterbacks in the country. He's got 35 starts under his belt. He played at Hawaii. Spartan's not great as a road dog, but 31 points. I mean, I have feeling probably hanging this game. I mean, USC is terrific. They got the whole team back. They're, I'm sure they'll be fine as they prepare for departure. How is it going to play out with this Pac, with the Pac-12, with the playoff? Will it be any kind of like discriminatory? Well, I don't know. maybe that's a bad word to say, but sure they're invited. I mean, the system is the system, the conference playoff thing, whatever, but it kind of feels lame duckish. Be playing at a conference, it's not going to exist.
Right.
Anyways, I'll take them, Mindy. I want San
You're
Jose
right.
State. I
Let's
saw
go.
it. Look, I'm not going look Burley, USC minus 18.5 in the first half. I want San Jose State on the money line in the first half. But I just because I just think USC is the type of team that in a situation like this comes out flat. I feel like I've watched this movie a million times.
A million, at least a million.
A million with as many games as I've seen. And I'm glad San Jose State. Does this means Thomas Lewis, San Jose State's going to play better than ever? I'm glad for San Jose State to have some type of resurgence. Hi, Rich. Nice to see you. That's one of my super secret chat rooms that I hang out with.
Super
Rich
secret.
G. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Me and Gerardo and Rich G and some other guys who hang up in the super secret chat rooms and make a bunch of live bets on obscure sports. Okay, Florida International and Louisiana Tech. This is the last game of the night. Oh, what? Louisiana Tech favored by a dozen here, 57.5.
All right. I'm going to take La Tech here today. It's one of those that I just kind of feel like Louisiana Tech, maybe they made all the moves there in the offseason, right? I mean, they got a guy from Nebraska. So, I mean, that's got to be good news for them, right? Crawford, the promising wide receiver. Nebraska loses all their good guys, I tell you. But I just think there's more talent here coming back for this Louisiana State team. And I think they're going to make a challenge here for the Conference USA title as well. I don't think this seems like too much. I think they win by a couple touchdowns here. So taking La Tech.
All right, Mindy says take Louisiana Tech in this one. Yeah, they've been a bit of a move on Louisiana Tech, certainly, and I think the Sharps are probably on them too. It just feels like the spread's gone maybe just a little tad too high at a dozen points. But they've got some returnee. They got a veteran offensive line. They've got one guy in his 7th season.
Right. COVID, redshirt.
He's on the 7-year plan.
Injury.
Last year was a thriller. FIU won the game 42-34 in overtime. That's a pretty high score, and I don't know. I think Cappers will kind of want to go under in the. I think they kind of want to go under in this game, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm feeling it quite like that. I'm looking to go over. I think in this one at 57.5. That'll be my play. Over 57.5. Didn't want to. Well, let's see. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm okay. I'm solid with that, Mindy. You take the Bulldogs. I like I'd probably side with you if it was 10 or something. But 12.
I gotcha.
Not sure. Let's see what the chat has to say for this one. Got some baseball to go. Yep.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yep. Cordero was the quarterbacks I was talking about. Thank you. Names aren't my specialty, I'll tell you that. College, well, no, yeah, you're right. I mean, I do know.
Whatever. They're definitely not my specialty.
Well, I'll get better as the season
You
goes
usually
along.
pull it off,
It takes me a
Ramon.
while to get rolling.
I just worry about the numbers, not the names.
G. Williams is here. Gavin Williams is here. Nice to see you, G. Thank you. Crush is on Tech. Thomas is on Tech. A lot of people are on Tech. Frankie says, give me the under. Thomas says, FIU, they kind of faded last year. And, hey,
did. True.
No doubt. Look, they're one of the worst spread teams in the country. Don't forget. No
Yeah, I
doubt.
don't know if you guys remember, but that was one of those, like, the over under for their season wins was like 3. And that's one of those futures that I did take. A lot of people were taking them to win that or contend for the conference. Didn't work out that way. But yeah, they definitely got over the 3 wins. That's for sure.
Yeah, let's last 4 years, pretty bad, Mindy, against the spread. They're like 12-30 or something like that. And also last 4 years, 5-13 against the spread as a road underdog.
Okay.
Jacoby on the under here. Thanks, Crush. I hope we do. 5 out of 7 are we on? Wow.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. We'll
Okay.
take it. It's a fun start to the weekend.
And G. Williams got a whale play here. Tech money line minus 420. Fired up.
Parlay.
Yeah, thank you, Rich. He's going to tease it. He's going to tease it down and take Tech in the over on a tease. And I don't mind that. Getting it under 7 or whatever you have to do. And I don't mind any kind of teaser. I don't play by the rules, and neither does Rich G. We tease when we want to tease, however we want to tease. 6 points, 6.5, 7, super teaser. We will tease. You don't tell us don't play teasers. Right, Rich?
Right.
All right.
Only you hit the enter button on your bet.
On an NFL Sunday, I have like lines all over the place, like this team to that team, to that team, to that team, to that team, to that team. See what I'm talking about here?
Right.
Yeah. All those analytics guys, whatever. They're not up 33 units in baseball like Mindy and I over the last 30 days. Okay.
Right.